if you could have saw my face screamed, busted. My face screamed, oh my God. Like, I can't say it's not me. I can't say it's a double. You're seeing what you're seeing. I'm up there holding Brianna's hand, bro. I done just gave this girl a hug. She had a head on my chest, and I'm Joe, squeeze her, hold her hand on. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like LL Cool J in it, like, yeah, you know, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, we might. I knew I wasn't finna be on there with her. I wasn't finna be on there with her because I knew that I was liking the register girl, and we was dealing around. So when the register girl, she pulls off, skirt, immediately my mind was like, run after the car, okay? Run after the car. I can't catch this car, okay? I can't catch no car, but I'm gonna run behind it. So as I'm like trying to just like walk away from Brianna like grabbing my hand. I'm like, hey, stop, let me go. She like, oh, that's your girlfriend? I'm like, stop it. Because I knew like I wasn't finna be dealing with Brianna no more. So boom, I start running, okay? Off school grounds. The look on my face as I'm running. So everybody like, yo, good game, good game. I'm like, yeah. They like, you need a ride? Somebody was like, you need a ride? I was still running. All right, boom, I get to the bus stop. All right, now I'm looking. It's like me looking like this. That don't mean the bus is going to come any faster. So I'm just looking like, oh my God. Like, when is the bus coming? So I'm looking like, I heckle a bus right here. So I know a bus got to be coming. I'm still waiting patiently. Boom. I see a bus farther down. I'm like, yes. I get ready to get on the bus, right? As I get on the bus, pay my fare, I sit down, right? I sit down, I'm not paying attention. I don't go all the way to the back, and I don't sit all the way in the front. I sit in the middle, like in the kind of in the back, but in the middle. I'm not all the way in the back. I'm chilling, and I hear somebody like, yeah, you don't even see us. You're going to get caught lacking. I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna do that. And then I caught the voice like, I should still off you. I'm like, hold on, it's finna be a fight. I caught the voice, but still, I was like, who finna fight? When I looked, it was Beth and Beth's sister and one of Beth's little side chicks. This girl she was dealing with named D. So she like, yeah, you by yourself now. So I look. So I'm like, oh my God, like, okay. We live next door to each other. I'm going to play it smart. So I'm like, she don't know that I'm finna take this ride all the way by my job. So boom, I realized we get up to our stop. Beth and them didn't get off. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm on a mission, okay? I got a monkey wrench thrown into my plan, and I'm on a mission. So I'm like, oh my God, all right. Okay, so I hit the bell. Now, I'm over there by the restaurant where Roy and all them caught me at. I'm over there by the restaurant. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just walk from here. So boom, I get off. They get off. So now they get off and they like, yeah, so what's up? So the girl D like, now the girl D, she thick, big. Okay, I was like, dang, Beth, you went to go get you a little gorilla. You got your little polar bear. Like, this girl was big and greasy looking, like I would do anything for you. I was just like looking. I'm like, Beth, I'm like, I got something going on right now. She like, nah. She like, we still got an issue. She say, so what's up? I'm like, nothing. I'm not on there with you. She like, so y'all cracked my mama crib? I'm like, what? So she like, y'all cracked my mama house with the eggs? I'm like, look, I ain't got time for that. I'm like, my mama paying for the window. I'm like, I don't know what you talk about. She like, did y'all do it or y'all didn't? So now I'm walking off. So I feel something hit me. So I'm like, hey, stop throwing stuff at me. I don't know if it was a rock, a penny, or what, but they threw something at me. I'm like, hey, stop. So Beth's sister come up to me like, I could take you myself. I'm like, look, go on, girl. I push it. So Beth like, don't touch my sister. Right? I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm finna go up to work. I'm gonna just call the police. Beth say, no, we're gonna wait right here for you. Right? So boom. They're like not in front of my job, but they're like at that end of that block where they can still see me going into the workplace. So I'm like, all right, I gotta play it smart. So I go inside the workplace because I didn't want them following me. Like, that's so lame. So I went inside the workplace, right? Yo, she about to get ready to get off, right? It's like, I look at the time, it's like 8 something. So mind you, I told my mama that I'm there until 11. Like, so if I'm there until 11, I still got time. But now I got to go do some makeup work, right? So boom, I go in, I see the closer. I'm like, hey, can you let me in? She like, you work today? I'm like, no. I'm like, I need a really big favor. So Yo-Yo takes the work chair. Because you got to remember, the office is right by the door. So she get the work chair and she hears my voice. So she's sitting in the chair. She slides the chair. She like, oh, it's you. You're not on the schedule. I'm like, I know. I'm like, can you let me in? She like, 4. I'm like, this not even your shift. Just let me in. I work here. So she like, oh, it's always something with you. So boom, she let me in. I go straight to the back. I go straight to Miss Shirley's office. So she like, what you doing? I'm like, none of your business. She like, well, I am the supervisor. I say, so what? You're not supervising me. Remember, I'm not on the schedule. So I walk out like, you're irritated. Like, stop it. Like, stop it. You irritating me. So boom, she like, oh, you looking for your boo? I'm like, no, I'm not. So boom, I knock on Miss Shirley's office door. Boom, she comes. Hey, I'm like, Miss Shirley, I need a really, really big favor. She like, yeah, of course. What you need? I'm like, is it the back way open? Can you let me out the back way? She like, you came in here for me to let you out the back way? What's going on? I'm like, I got people bullying me. They following me. So I still need to go straight. So I just need to be able to get out the back way. So she said, I'll let you out the other way. So it was a way through her home. So boom, now mind you, now, if you remember, I told y'all in the beginning, Miss Shirley had her home connected to the rib place because that was her original first rib joint. So it was like she was staying inside the store, but not really. You know what I'm saying? So once I went through that office door, she opened up that other door. It was like, oh, it was like heaven. It was like heaven in there. When I'm telling you, beautiful mirrors everywhere, statues everywhere. It smelled great. It was just beautiful. Her husband was sitting there. He was chilling because she took me all the way through, right? I saw they had stairs. I'm like, man, how big is this, right? When I come out, when she takes me out the front door, boom, out her front door, out of her house, I was like, wait, that's this? Right? That's this? Beautiful home. Beautiful home. I'm talking about she played it swell. So boom, she like, you sure you're okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, thank you so much, Miss Shirley. She say, you work tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. What time? She like, come in at 4. You can do a 4 to 11. I'm like, okay, I see you at 4. Boom, I jets, right? I go around, boom. Beth and them can't see me. Now I go all the way around. Now, normally I could come up straight and I'm in front of the register girl house, but I had to go all the way around. So I'm coming this way instead of this way. Boom. I go there. I don't see her car parked in the front. I'm like, oh, man, I don't see her car. So I sat on the porch, right? I sat on the porch for a little bit. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave. Like, I don't got no time on me. I'm going to leave. So I'm like, I'm going to go back up to the store, right? I went back up. I walked straight up now. I walked back to the store. I'm like, trying to see what time it is. I go in there. So Yo-Yo is finally leaving. I'm like, you still here? She like, don't worry about it. And she bumped me. And then here come the dude that working the smoke thing. He walking out behind her. I'm like, oh, look at y'all looking cute. She like, we're not looking cute. We're about to have a smoke break. I'm like, oh, I thought you don't do those things. She said, yeah, on the clock. I don't do those things. I'm like, oh. I said, okay, y'all be safe. So she said, what you're doing here? I'm like, don't worry about it. So now I'm looking at the time. I'm like, all right, it's 8 something. All right. It's about to be 9. Where is this girl, right? So I'm like, hey, we got employees' numbers here? She like, yeah. I'm like, because I might need some help. She like, why you want somebody to cover your shift? But I didn't want her to know my business. So I say, yeah, I might. She like, who number you need? I'm like, Just give me a second. So I look, boom, I walk back down there. Now, as I walk back down there, the rest of the girl still not at her crib. So now I'm just sitting on the porch like, all right, it's still kind of early, so I'm at least sit out here as long as I can, at least till we get close to 11. Boom, she finally pull up. So when she sees me, she's just sitting in the car. She's just sitting in the car. She ain't saying nothing to me. The lights, the headlights, everything go off. So I'm standing up on the porch. She did not come out the car. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the car, right? So I'm like, hey, let your window down. She like, had her head turned. I'm like, hey, come on, I know you can hear me. Let your window down. She ain't say nothing. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it, right? I'm mad now. Forget it. Now I walk off. As I'm walking off, I look back, right? She gets out the car, don't say nothing to me, and goes in the crib. So I'm like, she thinks she just ain't gonna talk to me. That blew me. So I turned around, and she was already in the crib. So now I'm ringing the bell, right? I'm knocking on the door, ringing the bell. She opened up the door. I'm like, can I talk to you for a second? She like, talk. I'm like, can I come in? She like, no. I could come out though. So she comes out on the porch. I'm like, come here. I go to grab her hand. She like, please stop it. Don't do that. I'm like, I know what you saw. It ain't what you thought you saw. I'm like, she like, I just got a question. I'm like, what's the question? She like, that's the same girl. Now remember, if y'all been following the story time, you remember that when Yo-Yo and Brianna got into it, Brianna came up to the job because Brianna knew where I was working at, and she brought the girl with the scar. Remember that? And it was a real big ordeal, and Yo-Yo was finna get into it with her. The register girl remembered that. So she like, is that the girl that Yo-Yo was finna get into it with? I'm like, yeah, but it was something different. She like, and then I come up to your school, and I didn't come up there once. I came up there twice because I thought that you had a game. I'm like, I did. I told you it was away. She like, they told me that. And I waited for you the whole time out there waiting on you. I saw you come out, and I watched you the whole time. Okay, so let me explain. She like, it's nothing to be explained. And she walked in, and I'm like, would you come? Boom! She shut the door in my face. I'm like, I let it marinate. I'm like, now I want to ring the bell. I want to talk to her, but I'm like, okay, just forget it. So, right, I walk out. I'm walking down the stairs. She opened up the door as I'm getting ready to leave out her little lot area, her parking lot area. She like, yeah, I hope you have fun with her and don't never talk to me again. You hurt me. I'm like, I wasn't trying to hurt you. I'm like, I don't like her. She like, was we ever talking? Did you ever like me, or you were just playing with me? I'm like, she was like, right, stringing me along. I'm like, I wasn't stringing you along. I'm like, she just want me back. I'm like, it's nothing like that, right? I keep trying to tell her, it's nothing like that. She was like, it sure look like you miss her and you want her back too. I'm like, but if we can, boom, she shut her door again. I'm like, okay, fine. So boom, I walk off. I go home scot-free. I go home, right? As I come in the crib, I got on the same clothes that I left out with. I left my stuff into the gym locker after I showered, the basketball stuff. The coach already know what's up. So boom, front door now opening. Mark is in the kitchen eating pineapples out the can, okay? He eating pineapples out the can. And he messing these pineapples up, the circle pineapples. He banging them. I'm like, what's up? So all I hear is back door now opening. So I look, it's my mama. So my mama like, did you bring your brother's stuff? I say, huh? She said, huh? Am I speaking another language? Am I talking Chinese? Did you bring your brother his mini real test? I'm like, oh, I left it on the prep table. She like, okay, but y'all closed. I'm like, yeah, we closed at 11, but 30 minutes to clean. I'm like, they just let me go first. To be honest, I completely forgot about it. And I stopped at the real place. So I'm like, I could go get it. She like, well, it's late. I'm like, okay. She like, I'll take you. Then Mark like, I can go. She like, both of y'all together, I don't trust y'all. He like, Mom, seriously. He like, I can go. Maybe I can get some air. So my mama like, okay, go on ahead. So boom. Mark, he washed his hands. We get ready to dip out. So I'm letting Mark know, like, hey, you know Beth? Her girlfriend and her sister, they strolled up on me. So now I'm telling him everything what happened. He, what? He like, we could bust our car windows out. I'm like, no. No, we're not doing nothing else extra, right? We gets up there to the store. Free. Nobody bothers us. We get up there to the store. The door is locked. They in there mopping the lobby. So I'm like, tapping on the window. They not paying no attention. So I'm boom, 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 a little harder. The dude that's mopping out there, he look. I'm like, open the door. So he opened the door. He like, we closed. I'm like, I know that. I'm like, I need something. He like, what you need? I'm like, move. So he let me in. Mark come in. So he like, he don't work here. I'm like, this is my brother. So I saw the other girl, Kiki, and I saw her and I was like, hey, I need a favor. Cause she was looking like, what you doing? I'm like, I need a favor. She like, what? I'm like, you got any more food back there? She like, yeah, but the ones that's gonna be smoking for later. I'm like, I forgot my brother a mini rib tip. That's what I really came up here for. She like, well, I got a mini tip. It's no sauce on that though. I'm like, but it's for you. She like, yeah, I was gonna take it home for myself. I'm like, nah, you just go ahead. She like, no, I could give it to you. I'm like, you sure? In my mind, I would have let her have it. So I'm like, I could pay for it. She like, no, I already got it ready. She like, let me put the sauce. She like, cause we cut the eyes and everything off. So boom, she got the eyes back going. Boom, she was nice. I'm like, you sure you don't want me to pay you back? She like, no, but in my mind, I'm gonna pay her back, right? It ain't no worries. So boom, I took the stuff. Mark like, man, she gorgeous. I'm like, he like, how do you? So it ain't nothing but girls in there. I'm like, clearly you just saw a dude. He like, but man, she bad. Put me on, bro. Put me on. I'm like, no, I'm not putting you on. I'm like, you crazy. So boom, we walking. I got the stuff. So he like, man, we should stop and go get some Zaza. I'm like, no, we're going straight home. He like, come on, I can get it for free. So as we going, right, I see Roy with that same bike at that same spot go to his friend's house and put the bike up. But this time he lock it. I'm like, hey, there go Roy. So Mark like, Roy? I'm like, yeah. He like, a little bit of payback. I'm like, no. He like, Bethlehem just tried to get up on you. I'm like, no, leave him alone. He like, yo, we got him. He in the crib. That's his bike. I'm like, I don't know who bike it is. I'm trying to play it off because I know Mark on dummy. He like, they gotta be his mans in them. He like, come on, we finna go over there. I'm like, no, I'm not going over there. I'm like, I'm going home. Mark runs across the street.